Round 2 is complete, and the Stanley Cup Playoffs. We move on to the conference finals. We'll break down and recap what happened in round 2. We'll preview the conference finals. MacKinnon, McDavid. I'm all of a sudden hungry for a Big Mac. We'll talk about all of that and more right now. This is Teal Town Live. Good evening, everyone. May 30th, 2022. The Stanley Cup Playoffs move on to the conference finals, and we're here to break down everything and then some. With that, we welcome you to Teal Town Live. Live and interactive. We do this, well, when every round in the Stanley Cup Playoffs are completed. So chat with us, along with hockey fans all over the world, on the YouTube page or the app. Of course, follow us on our social, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, Reddit, Discord. Of course, smash that subscribe button on the YouTube channel and find everything at tealtownusa.com. And with that, I say hello to Mr. I feel bad. I think to go with the theme, it should be Eric McCurra and Ian McReed. But, Ian, hi, bud. How are you?
I'm going to tell you something right now. Barclay Goodrow is still playing. Evander Kane is still playing. The Sharks are not playing. And I'm really fucking mad online about it. No, I'm not. It's fine.
Oh my God. Oh boy. We got a shaky camera angry Canadian robot. My goodness. Oh boy. All right. Well, we'll try to tame him down, folks, as we.
Oh shit! Justin Braun's still playing too. Oh fuck! I'm not even doing it.
And with that, you're stuck with me for the next 3 hours. Oh, kidding. 3 hours, right? All right. So with that being said, just took my head clean off right there. Shoot. So we
Cogliano's still playing. Oh my God. Jeez.
Yes, Cogliano.
All these
Cogliano.
If they just kept the band together and never changed anything except for the bad things, you got to change the bad things, but you don't change anything, and none of these guys aged, this team would still be in the Stanley Cup Final.
Oh. Don't stop believing. This is coming from the guy who's always the optimist. He's always the optimist, and I predicted them to miss the playoffs too. So, oh boy. All right. Well, we know how happy Ian is.
I'm really good. I'm glad to be here.
It's good to have you, bud. Tell us how you really feel next time, though. All right. So let's get to it, shall we? So round 2 is over. We'll start with the game that just ended. The Rangers just trouncing the Carolina Hurricanes 6-2 for the Hurricanes' first ever Game 7 loss since they relocated from Hartford.
I think I've upset my camera, though, because I don't think it's focusing now. That's fine.
You're good.
All right. Yeah, I mean, probably... I don't think it was the Game 7 we were expecting.
No.
But, I mean, I don't know. It's weird, like... I don't know. I mean, as far as Game 7s go, that's pretty much a letdown. I feel like that's like a little bit of the theme I think is going to be tonight. Is just things not living up to expectations. Like the Sharks. And I'm angry. Okay, I'm done. I promise.
And Kathy saying...
I am going to go send a strongly worded tweet to some random Sharks person. I'm not going to ask a question. Just we're going to yell at them. It's going to be good.
Bob Lassie saying that would make a scary poster of Ian a couple minutes ago. But
you wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
So wasn't Carolina and New York kind of the meh series out of these four? I mean, I thought,
yeah.
I
Yeah, I didn't think this series you're right, and now that you mentioned that, it's true. Like I guess Game 7, I don't know why I expected more from it, because yeah, I think if like compared to everything else, even the Lightning sweeping the Panthers, like I think if you ever wanted to like put like hockey in pill form, like this series would be Ambien.
The side effects may include nausea, heartburn, annoyance.
Don't operate heavy machinery.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And wanting to actually see a really good hockey series. Yeah, I mean, home team dominated. I mean, up until this game, Carolina was undefeated at home, but they couldn't win a damn road game. And I think honestly, I think Game 6 kind of broke them a little bit, and then Antti Ranta broke himself, for that matter. And that's
feel
tough.
Bad. I mean, because I know I mentioned I mentioned that when we did the series preview. It's like I can't take Antti Ranta like as the goalie in a series, and I think that's pretty much why I went with the Rangers in this series.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least he waited till great Game 7 to break, or I don't know if that's nice or whatever, but I do feel bad for the dude though, because I think when he's healthy, he's really good. The problem is he just can't stay healthy.
That's the tough part. And he was fantastic in this Carolina run. I mean, but granted, I was expecting Freddie Anderson to be the backup for Game 7, and it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
But for New York, I mean, Shesterkin once again looks solid, and we'll get into the preview of the conference final, which is now set. But yeah, I
mean, as far as Game 7s go, I mean, the Rangers really got out early, and Carolina, like, they scored some goals, but they were never, you never was, Colorado, Carolina's coming back into this now. Like, it was kind of decided in the first 5-10 minutes, and the Rangers never really looked back.
Kathy, okay, that needs to be a theme, comparing all the teams to the Pills.
Oh, jeez. I gotta go and I'm gonna have to go and Google some pill names.
No. Let's not say we did. So the Rangers advance.
No free ads.
Yes, hashtag no free ads. What are we, the nightly news or something? So the Rangers advance in 7. In the other series in the East, Tampa Bay sweeps Florida. I think we were all concerned when Florida struggled with the Caps in 6 games. And then we thought, okay, Tampa found their legs and won a series without Braden Point.
Yeah, I think the thing for me was with Florida was, I did think they had too much trouble in their first round series, and I thought by the end of the Leaf series, even though it wasn't like, I don't think anyone's going to go back to that Leaf series and tell you that it was the greatest hockey that Andrew Vasilevsky had ever played, but he got significantly better to close out that series, and it really carried over. Like, Vasilevsky was unreal in this series with Florida.
I think the one goal that Toronto scored in a series clinching game is the only goal he's allowed in these last 3 playoff runs for Tampa. I mean, my goodness, Vasilevsky is unreal, and that team is unreal. And as we mentioned, assistant coached by former Shark and original Shark Rob Zettler in that one. What else can you say about Tampa? They just steamrolled there, and I
mean, they're a well-oiled machine at this point. They know what it takes to win. There's nothing that Tampa haven't seen at this point. Like, this group of Tampa Bay Lightning, there's nothing they haven't seen. They've know what it's like to be down and lose a series in pretty embarrassing fashion, like they did the year before they won. And now they've been up, they've been down. I think they got pushed. They got pushed incredibly hard by Toronto to go to that 7-game series, and then that was 7-game series. Yeah,
7 games against Toronto.
And so, I mean, like, there's nothing they haven't seen, right? Like, you're not going to phase them. And I think Florida, unfortunately for Florida, this is the second year in a row they've had a they've had a promising series kind of end against Tampa where they just can't solve the Lightning. And it's going to be one of those things where until they can get that monkey off their back or have Tampa, fall out before they have to play them, it's going to be hard for, I think, the Panthers to take that next step.
Yeah. And what do the Panthers do now? They lose their first round pick. What says he? Does Drew come back? But most importantly, where does Jumbo go? Or is this the end for him in your mind?
To me, I feel like, far be it for me to tell someone when to end their career, right? Like that's a personal choice. But to me, you don't get to dress until the final game of the series because maybe it's your last game, maybe it is, we don't know. You dress for less than 40 games during the regular season. Like I understand wanting to win a cup, and I get that, but at the same time, like, it's unfortunate that they didn't do it in 2016 when he was actually a key part of the team and not a hanger on. Like, I know a lot of people he's trying to route Ray Bourque it, but Ray Bourque was a big part of that Colorado team. He wasn't sitting in the press box.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, if this was me, and I am not Joe Thornton, I am not a even remotely professional athlete. Look at my little pencil arms, like, right? But
so you're a goalie. That's fine.
True. But like, to me, like, I don't know if that's the way I want to win. You know what I mean?
I get that.
If I'm not like truly a part. Now, I think Joe Thornton is a guy who I think has a lot to offer a dressing room. But if you're not offering anything on the ice, what are you doing? I think it's a sad, like, I think if he comes back, I mean, I'm not going to say don't come back, right? Mm-hmm. As long as it's not here. If it's here, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. But if he comes back for another season, well, if you're coming back here, you're not playing to win a Stanley Cup. You're just playing.
Or is he playing and then getting moved at the deadline as part of his plan?
Yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, to me, I just feel like at some point, like, you have to decide to call it. And look, we've seen guys play further than Joe Thornton is. I think, like, Joe Thornton's 42. We've seen guys play in the NHL longer than Joe Thornton. Chris Jelly's played like he was like 48, right? So I mean, like, maybe there's a future there. I wonder if he always said that before he was done, he would go and play in Davos. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's still in the cards. I'm just going to mute my phone here. I wonder if that's still in the cards. But I mean, like, at the end of the day, look, I love Joe Thornton, man. I don't want anyone to get me wrong here. I love Joe Thornton. Joe Thornton's one of my favorite players to ever play the game. Yeah. But at this point, like, I would rather him go out on top than go out playing 25 games in a playoff game.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, personally, and I put this out on Twitter last week, I would love to see Jumbo come back here to hang it up. But let's be honest here. It's probably best if he's not. And he's probably having that conversation soon.
Of young players that are going to join this system this coming season, right? Mm-hmm. You have a bunch of guys coming up. If Joe Thornton re-signs with this team, he is taking ice time away from one of them.
Fair
for
point.
What?
To be the locker room guy for the youngsters. Oh, yeah, bud. Yeah, bud. Hey, boys. Hey, Barty. How you doing, bud?
You know what I mean? And I think I just think that's not the play.
Okay.
I'm saying this as someone who absolutely loves Joe Thornton, but when it's over, it's over, man.
No, I get it. And it's a tough one. And if it is at the end, we wish him the best. And I would say he's probably right behind Patty to to get his number up in the rafters at the tank. So we move onward over to the West as we'll go with Colorado finishing up St. Louis in 6. I thought the Blues gave them a good run for their money. That goal by Darren Helm with 5 seconds left was just an absolute dagger for the Blues.
Yeah, I felt really bad for Villahuso because it's like, and it wasn't even a bad goal. Like, I don't think it was a bad goal per se, but just to have that happen and then, I mean, it's just like overtime, right? Like it was basically overtime because there was no time for the Blues to come up with any sort of response to that goal. Just an absolute dagger. But I give the Blues a lot of credit in this series. I thought I'm not gonna lie, after that game, where it was game 5, I think, where like Nathan MacKinnon just goes insane and they still lose.
Yeah,
I thought, oh my God, Colorado's done.
Yeah, if St. Louis pulls out game 6, like say it's in overtime,
I thought they were done. I'm like, oh, and credit Colorado because they could have been, they could have let that completely unravel them, and they came back and they played a great game.
Yeah, in
game 6. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, St. Louis is actually going to pull this out. But I picked Colorado. I'm glad Colorado went. I think this Western Conference Final is going to be absolutely unreal.
And we'll break that down and everything and coming up because
absolutely
I'm psyched for that one.
Yeah.
But to see Colorado do what they do, it's like they're still on a mission. But I think St. Louis gave them a hiccup or a speed bump a little bit, and now they'll have a good test on their hand. So let's talk about kind of the elephant was all over the series. So Jordan Binington gets injured. Of course, Nazim Kadri is involved here. What did you take from that? First off, that incident, and then what happened afterwards in a bit. But I wasn't sure on that play. To me, it didn't look like he was trying to injure him. Of course, having the defenseman pushing him right into him doesn't help either.
Yeah, I didn't really see anything. Like, I can understand. I understand why Blues fans are livid? Absolutely. But did I see anything there that I thought was suspension worthy or whatever? I thought it was fine. Like, it was just it sucks. I think like it's unfortunate for Binington to have to go out of the series like that. And I'm sure if that was a goalie, if I had a rooting interest, if that was a Sharks goalie and the player ran into him, I'm probably pretty pissed off. Yeah. Like, so I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Blues fans, you're big babies. Like, no, I can understand why they're upset. Did I think there was anything there that was worth suspending? No, I don't think so. I think that, and then obviously, the response to, the people being stupid online. Can we just be better online people?
Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous that we're having people find. I mean, what kind of time do you have on your hands that you got to go find Nazim Kadri's wife or the Kadri Foundation and throw death threats online and racist comments online? I think it was Mikey Stevens who put a screenshot out of what Nazim Kadri's wife said, and he got a message from one of the people who mentioned that and say, I was drunk at 3 a.m. Who gives a fuck if you were drunk at 3 a.m. or you're drunk or high or whatever? What the fuck are you doing sending out death threats?
I think, and not only that,
are you that dumb?
Yeah, well, I think not only that. Here's the thing, right? Here's a little secret. Like, obviously, when you are intoxicated with whatever, your inhibitions are lowered, right? And you're gonna say things, but the things that you say, they're not things that you think when you're sober. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
those things that you're verbalizing are things that you think when you're sober, but you're smart enough not to open your mouth and say, because you know it's fucking racist and awful and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, I have no sympathy for any of those people that had their shit exposed, and if they have to face repercussions in the real world for it, I have no fucking sympathy for any of them.
Yeah. No.
Like, I don't. Again, like, we have to be. I know people are gonna roll their eyes. We have to be nicer to each other online, guys. Like, we really do.
Yeah. I mean, we're all in this together. You know, we're having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
We're having fun.
AJ in the chat, and that's basically articulated perfectly in a few words what I was trying to say. Drunk speech is sober thoughts. Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're tweeting out racist comments when you're drunk, then you probably should think about why you think those things when you're sober.
Exactly. But I thought it was absolute classless.
It's stupid, man, and it's dumb,
and it's not
the
just
internet,
St. Louis fans either.
You know, it's just people thinking that they're never gonna get called out for their stupidity. It's so stupid. Like, and it's just like, it's a game.
Yeah.
Like Brizgalov said, man, it's just hockey.
Yeah.
It's not that serious.
The world is so humongous big, you know.
Yeah.
Let's be nicer to each other.
Be nicer to each other. It's not hard.
Yeah.
If you don't have something nice, just don't say it. Just keep it to yourself.
Right. Right. So we go onward to the Battle of Alberta. First time in 31 years. This series started off crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, holy heck! I know it was the 80s where these two teams clashed before, but wow, what a throwback game one. But man, did Edmonton did Edmonton show up in the next 4 games. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Or was it Calgary just falling apart?
No, I think McDavid took over the series. I think that's what happened. I don't think Markstrom was particularly good in this series. But I don't know, man. Like, I wouldn't I don't think it's fair to just pin this whole thing on Markstrom either. I think McDavid had a hell of a fucking series. I think that it's funny because I really thought Calgary would be able to stifle them, but Calgary they didn't have an answer for McDavid, and their answer for McDavid was bring back like the corpse of Brandon Tanev to try and shut down McDavid. And then like they get eliminated. It's like, oh, he's gonna have surgery on like these 3. He had like these 4 things wrong with him, and he was supposed to shut down McDavid. Like most people healthy can't shut down McDavid. You want Brandon Tanev with 3 injuries to shut down McDavid? Okay, that's a bold strategy.
Yeah, and we saw how it played out, and it was epic fail.
Yeah.
But Markstrom, I know Edmonton has his number, but he did not look great in this series for Calgary.
No, and I don't think he was particularly good against Dallas either.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, I think Jacob Markstrom is a really good regular season goalie, but I don't know, man. Playoffs have been a different story for him when he's been there.
Yeah, and it's tough. And the same thing for Calgary. Yeah, they got by Dallas in round 1, but don't tell me Oilers fans are waiting to go back down to the Saddle Dome to rub it in next season for that. But yeah, I mean, yeah,
it's funny because I did say when we did the preview, like, this probably wasn't going to be a long series. I just got the way it was going to go completely wrong. And yeah, you know what? And I don't think it really lived up to the hype either. And maybe it was never going to, because we waited so long. Like this whole playoff format, right? Was this whole idea was we're supposed to get all these great divisional, like, just hated rivalries playing, and then like everyone got crappy. Like everyone just started to suck, and we never got these matchups that we're supposed to get, right? Like, we never got, we didn't get a Battle of Alberta until now. We weren't getting, like we got Tampa, Florida. I mean, which is nice, but
That didn't even live up to the hype either.
no, I don't know. And I mean, maybe like I don't think it was ever going to be like it was never going to be Colorado, Detroit, but I think that's where I built it up. Like, oh, it's gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be awesome. And it was never gonna be that. I'm just dumb.
No, but I mean, honestly, what we seen out of this, we thought, oh, okay,
Yeah.
this is gonna be the epic one for the ages and everything.
There wasn't. I thought we'd get more hate though.
I thought so too.
Didn't.
We got goal scoring, which was great.
We got a ton of goal scoring,
but
boatloads of goal scoring.
But yeah, I was expecting a little more feistiness, especially coming from Daryl Sutter. By the way, I love how the Jay Woodcroft pose waiting for the handshake has become a thing online.
Yes, the memes for that are awesome.
All right, come on over.
I have him.
I got
seen
hands
him
to shake.
Buffalo. I've seen him checking out buying cars. It's great.
So I assume they're going to re-sign him to a nice deal, and good on him for Jay Woodcroft. I mean, I know when the McClellan staff was let go in 2015, it was a matter of time before he eventually would be a head boss. I didn't think he was ready then, but boy, has he been ready now. So.
What a career decision for him, right? Because they really had to, from what I understand, they really had to push him to take that job in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
They really had to push him to go. And I mean, with the benefit of hindsight, I mean, obviously that worked out great for him because obviously he was down there when Todd McClellan got let go. So if he wouldn't have gone, he probably gets let go with Todd McClellan.
Right.
And then is with Todd McClellan in LA, I guess.
Yeah.
And then just forever the lackeys. He like I'm glad that he was given the opportunity and they pushed him and he took the opportunity to go in and not just be the Steve spot to Peter DeBoer.
You're right. Absolutely right. So the Oilers move on there. So that sets up your final four in the NHL's conference finals. As we get ready to go here, we'll start in the East first. Then, as the Rangers will have home ice against the Tampa Bay Lightning. The series will start Wednesday. And it'll be alternating every other day on the way out, except if Game 7 happens, they get an extra day off before then. But Tampa Bay, New York, what says you in the Eastern Conference Final?
I say Tampa. I mean, I'm gonna stick with my bracket. My bracket is still doing pretty good.
Shut up.
I think I went I went three out of four for the for the semifinals. So that's pretty good. I've gotten 2 series wrong so far. I'm pretty happy. I think Tampa. I don't think the Rangers' strategy of we're just going to let Shesterkin stop everything and just forget to play defense for stretches of time. That shit's not going to fly against Tampa. They're just a better team.
Yeah.
And the problem is like you can't just let Shesterkin get shelled because you're going to have a hard time scoring goals on Vasilevsky.
Yeah, this could be the goaltending duel we were expecting in other series in these playoffs. But Vasilevsky, Shesterkin, this should be a good one. Chris Kreider, Barclay Goodrow going up against his former squad.
Yeah. I mean, we already talked about this off the top of the show. I'm really angry still.
Yeah.
I don't know why you have to bring this up and make me angry again.
And, just to piss you off some more, Justin Braun.
Son of a bitch.
Getting a chance to go to the conference final for the first time since he scored that game-tying goal in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final against Pittsburgh.
Right?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Now he remembers. Yeah. But, yeah, with this one, man, Tampa, New York, this is going to be a great series, I think. But I think it's going to be, like I said, a goaltending duel, and it's going to come down to team defense, which I think both teams will lay it out on the line. my bracket's broken, but I did have the Rangers in playing the Panthers. I don't see anybody stopping Tampa. I think it goes. I think it goes 6 games, and Tampa advances.
Yeah, how many games? Goalies. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I think I'm leaning Lightning in 5, but I think you're right, because I think Shesterkin can extend this series. The Rangers, they've been good. I don't want to take anything away from what they've done. I don't think they're gonna. I think the Lightning are gonna work them.
Here's the other thing too. The Rangers have played 14 games. They've gone to the limit twice so far.
And that's going to catch up.
The Lightning are going to be almost a week off before they play a game. So you could get them early on with the rest factor, but I don't see that happening. And like
I don't think it matters. I think even if the Rangers come out flying and win, like are you scared of the Lightning going out even if the Rangers come out and win the first 2 games? No. Like I don't think I would be getting a shuffle out for the Lightning at that point.
Yeah. And AJ, I'm going to laugh if the average GAA for Shesterkin and Vass 3 The funny thing is that Vasilevsky had a horrible start in the Toronto series.
Mm-hmm.
All for John Cooper to deflect over, with Campbell, and then, Vasilevsky does Vasilevsky things. But yeah, that's going to be a good one. But,
yeah,
honestly, deep down inside, I think the one that we're really looking forward to, not necessarily Tampa Bay, New York. That'll be fun, but
I think it's going to be good. Like, don't get me wrong, Tampa Bay and New York should be a fun series. I think the West is going to be fun for different reasons.
Yeah, no, and Edmonton, Colorado, McDavid, MacKinnon. This can be this. We talk about a goaltending duel out east. This could be this could be a red light special going on in out in the West, and that starts tomorrow, and that's 5 p.m. not 65 p.m. as I just noticed the graphic error there.
Oops.
Whoops. Oh no. Anyway, so
Erik Karlsson o'clock.
Uh-oh, that clock might be broken. Hey-oh! I like the guy. He's got a good name, but anyways.
I like this here. This series is funny, right? Because you go from the East, where it's like the 2 best goalies that are left, to the West, which is goaltending optional. I don't think either of these goalies have been particularly good during the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And with the firepower, these are going to be... And then, of course, it's going to completely flip. AJ's going to be right. The East is, the goalies are going to have 880 save percentages, and we're going to go out to the West, where we think they're going to fill the net, and it's going to be like Darcy Kemper with a 995
and Mike Smith standing on his head, and hey, maybe we'll get it a moment of Koskinen or something.
Yeah, something just completely dumb. I think this West Final is going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be, I think goaltending optional. I think it's going to be, it's good. There's going to be a lot of goals. I think these games are going to be exciting. I think we're going to see a lot of lead changes. I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is going to be fun hockey. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I don't know if it's going to be long, but it's going to be fun.
Really? How long and who's representing the West?
I think Colorado is going to beat Edmonton in 5.
Oh. See, I was going to go Colorado in 7 just because I think McDavid and Draisaitl and that hype train. I mean, shoot, what did they have, 26 points combined in the Calgary series? Something ridiculous.
Yeah, again, with the Avalanche, I think I like, AJ's mentioned their blue line. I agree. I like the Avalanche's blue line better. And I don't think that I think between the two, I think Mike Smith has been a real adventure these playoffs. I don't think he's been bad, but I don't think he's been particularly good either. I think he's been kind of an adventure. I don't know. I just feel like if they can get to if they can get to Mike Smith early, which is what I think they're gonna do, I just think it goes off the rails.
Gotcha. So your final is Colorado versus
the Lightning.
The Lightning. I'm the same, even though I would love for Barclay Goodrow to get back in there, just so in 2 weeks we could see Ian even more pissed off. So if you have your picks, put them in the comments section down below if you're watching live or later on. We would love to see what everybody says. Colorado, Tampa, Edmonton, New York. I mean, there's something.
It's fun.
That's the fun part, and that's a great with how they've introduced the bracket challenge. It's super awesome to do. So yeah, you're 3 out of 4 left in the bracket challenge. Thank you very much, Calgary, for ruining yours. Florida and Calgary ruined mine. I still have I still have New York and the Avalanche, but I'm not good at predicting. I'm like the Barry Melrose of our bracket group.
I feel like Colorado getting that second round monkey off their back too, I think is going to be liberating. It's really like it's really uncharted territory for both teams. Like both of these teams have fallen way short of where they should probably be in the last few years. So I think it's going to be a fascinating final.
Yeah. And looking at who's ranked in our Teal Town USA bracket challenge, Siebes 2022 with 151 points. Number 2, Sharks for the 23 Cup. I like the thinking here. And then number 3, tied with Finnish Sharks fan, the Angry Canadian bracket.
We're going all the way, baby.
Good stuff there. So, yeah. I mean, honestly, so we both have Colorado, Tampa, which I think a lot of people had down the early on in the year. Man, is the Lightning going to strike thrice? I know. I mean, we'll get a couple predictions.
That's not what I have it ending up as. I have it ending up with Colorado finally breaking through it and winning the cup. But like, could Tampa three-peat this thing? They absolutely could. They're definitely built for it. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting, especially if Vasilevsky like just completely owns the Rangers. Like, I will definitely be sweating a little bit for my bracket.
Yeah, I mean that would be.
Like, they're definitely, like I said, there's nothing at this point that team hasn't seen. They're ready for anything, and they've shown a ton of resiliency. Like, again, Vasilevsky, I don't think he's lost back-to-back games in 100 years in the playoffs. Like,
right.
There's things that you have to do to be able to beat the Lightning, and probably win back-to-back games somewhere along the line is definitely one of them. So, could the Lightning three-peat? Yeah, I could absolutely see it. Do I want to see that? No, I want my bracket to win.
Yeah,
no. It's the Angry Canadian bracket. It needs to be angry for the right reasons.
Kevin, I did say thrice. I not twice. They've already done twice. Although I love how I love hearing the story that they won in a bubble, they won in a shortened year, and some people are still giving them crap for it. So that's why they're on a mission to try to win it.
They win.
It's like, come on.
It's so dumb. I hate all this asterisk nonsense. They won, man. Like they won all the games, especially as like you have to win 16 games in the playoffs to win a Stanley Cup. They did it twice. They won. Like, get over yourself.
And even if the Rangers advance and the Rangers win the Cup, I can't wait for Barclay Goodrow to tweet back at Damien Cox one more time. That'd be great.
Yes. Yeah, I wonder what Damien... Oh, he'll just be like, oh, yeah, but you're not Chris Kreider, so shut the fuck up. But, whatever.
It still
Damien
won 3
Cox
cups, motherfucker. That's 3 more than you've won.
That's such a hack.
That's why he's not on Sportsnet anymore. But we move onward. We'll call this the Sharks, I guess, May update.
Let's do it.
The CHL is moving onward to getting closer and closer to the Memorial Cup, which will begin on the 20th of June. But North Bay, the Battalion, and Brandon Co., along with the Sharks' most recent signing, which my head is slipping out right now.
I knew you were going to do this to me, and I got to go.
I know, but North Bay Battalion gets eliminated by the Hamilton Bulldogs.
Mitchell Russell.
Thank you. I was going to say Mitchell, but I was about to say Russell Mitchell. I'm sorry, okay? This is what you get for going crazy at the beginning of the show. God.
Yeah.
Justin Braun's still playing the Cup Final. But overall, all the Sharks prospects are pretty much done for. But,
it's unfortunate North Bay because they pretty much stormed through the first 2 rounds, and then they hit Hamilton, and Hamilton I think is going to be the team that represents the OHL in the Memorial Cup, and I think the Memorial Cup this year is going to be just unreal. I think that Edmonton's probably going to win the Western Hockey League. If I had to guess, I'd probably put my money at it's Edmonton, Hamilton, and then I can't remember who's hosting.
St. John.
St. John, yes, the Sea Dogs, right. And then whoever makes it out of the Q. The Q's they're a little behind. I don't know what their issue is. The Q. The Q just does their own thing. So the OHL and the Western Hockey League are getting to their final series, and they're still in their conference. They're not conference finals because they do 1 through 16. Because again, the Q just has to be different. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's unfortunate for Brandon Coe and Mitchell Russell obviously to be no longer playing, but they both did really well in the playoffs. I thought they just hit an absolute wagon in Hamilton, and Hamilton is, I think they've been the team to beat pretty much this entire season in the OHL. So unfortunate, but a good showing for both of them, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in the program next year.
Yeah, and for Mitchell Russell, it got him a deal with the Sharks.
Yep.
So we'll see how that goes on there. Now, I'm not. Of course, they don't really publicize the Memorial Cup that much down here in the States. Is there usually this big of a gap between, the league championships and then the Memorial Cup?
There's usually a little bit of a gap, yeah, because obviously especially this year, because they didn't know how the season was going to be affected by COVID and whatnot. So I think they wanted to have have enough lead time so that if we were still quarantining and doing all that kind of stuff, they'd have time to do that.
Which totally makes sense.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm really looking forward. I'm super excited for Memorial Cup because obviously that hasn't been one. I haven't watched one in 2 years now, so I'm really excited because this is one of my favorite. I think if you look at hockey, non-NHL hockey, it's Memorial Cup, World Juniors, everything else. To me, anyway. Some people would probably put the World Juniors higher. I love the Memorial Cup though.
Yeah, and see, this is kind of fun here. Then you're going to finish with the WHL, OHL, QMJHL championships. You can get those few weeks off. You're going to still have the playoff hockey in the NHL. Then you're going to have the Memorial Cup finish up. Then you're going to get the draft a week or two later. Then free agency. You're going to get a couple of weeks off, and then.
The fake World Juniors.
The prospect scrimmage.
I'm curious to see this World Juniors they're going to do in the summer. I'm curious to see who goes, because if I feel like if I'm an NHL team, like especially like if you're a guy like say like if you're a team like the Sharks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have a guy like Thomas Bordeleau who's played just a ton of fucking hockey since he left college. Like, don't you want him to rest at some point?
And that's the
like,
big thing.
Do you let him go to the World Junior? I mean, if they let him go, I think you probably have to because of because of the shit luck that he's had.
Yeah.
Going in, but like if I'm the Sharks, do I really want him there? Probably not, man. I probably want him to get some rest before the season starts, right? Because this is a guy who I think if he comes in and plays like he did at the end of the season, like he's probably on the Sharks this year.
Most likely. And the other thing, and I see Kevin in the chat saying, if I'm the Sharks, I am not letting Eklund go.
Yeah. And there's another one too, right? Do you let Eklund go?
Yeah.
Like, you're already, and for the Sharks, like the Sharks, for this to be the season where we're supposed to play, where everything's supposed to get better, you're starting over in Europe. Teams that start in Europe start really slow. The deck is stacked against them. I think the deck is really stacked against the Sharks this season because I think they can't afford to stumble out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
But teams that generally start their season in Europe generally do stumble out of the gate. Like this could be really ugly.
And the timeline's fairly short. I mean, I guess the Sharks are in the off season right now and they still have stuff, but you have the draft July 7th and 8th. And then you have free agency. And then a couple of weeks later, you can have the kids come up for, prospect camp and then of course the prospect scrimmage. Then the 2022 World Juniors, and then you have the rookie tournament a month and a half later in San Jose, and then countdown to the season is on. So the off season's kind of accelerates a little bit for the Sharks. Once that cup gets presented, it'll be interesting to see how well they do. And that's the other thing too. Would you want them to play? Would you want them to play in the World Juniors? And then come right back to play in the prospect scrimmage, and then get ready for, a quick camp, and then jump on a plane to Europe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If I'm the Sharks, I don't want my guys there. I wonder how many NHL teams, because again, it's not like this World Juniors. I mean, it's a cool experience, right? And I understand that it's like a once in a lifetime experience for a lot of guys. For a lot of guys, the World Juniors are as good as it gets, right? Like just being a teammate on the World Juniors doesn't guarantee you a successful NHL career, right? So for some of those guys, this is as good as it gets. So I can definitely understand why you want to do it, but I don't understand. The draft's already done.
Yeah.
Right. What's the point?
Yeah. So moving onward to another IIHF event, the World Championships concluded. Congrats to Finland, who hosted and win it and beat Canada. Sorry, don't mean to upset you again, Ian.
I'm a real Canadian, all right? Unless it's the Olympics, the World Juniors, or the World Cup, with actual NHL players, I don't care. I do not care if Canada's C team gets waxed in the World Championships.
Oh, damn. So let's talk about Noah Gregor and his silver medal.
Oh, congratulations on losing gold.
God.
It's so I understand how you want to oh, you won silver, congratulations, right? But I don't know, man. It's you don't win silver, you lose gold.
Do you like that format? Because I know when the USA last won gold in '80, it was a different setup. I
don't hate it. It is what it is, right? I think I don't hate the setup. Look, it is what it is. It's the way the tournament's been run for a long time. And I just don't care because I understand Finland won and they're ecstatic and they should be ecstatic, man. This is their Stanley Cup, right? Like,
right.
Europeans care way more about the World Championships than we do in North America.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Well, just because
So
we're
I
distracted
think,
with
you know,
playoffs.
I'm super happy for Finland. Sorry?
Just because we're so distracted with the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Correct. And it's not it's not a best on best tournament.
No, we saved that for the World Cup in 2024.
Like, I love, like, I just look at, again, even if they won, I would be like, yay. But here's the thing. You didn't watch the game.
Yeah, it's
so if they won, I'd be like, yay, we won. But I didn't watch. Like, I understand that, like, again, in Europe, I think the tournament's a big deal, and all the power to them. I'm not trying to downplay the tournament from their perspective. I think it's a big deal to them. I'm happy Finland won on home ice. Like, how cool is that, right?
That's cool.
But like, just me personally, I could give a rat's ass about this tournament.
Well, with that being said, Noah Gregor and Thomas Bordeleau had a pair of goals. Congrats to Tomas Hertl and Radim Šimik.
Yeah, though they won bronze.
They won.
They won bronze. They didn't lose gold.
So they come home with some hardware. We'll see how angry Radim Šimik still is when he returns.
We'll see how angry he is when the Sharks send him his bio papers.
Ooh, are we going for some foreseen points here, my friend?
Yeah, I've been saying it for a while. I think Radim Šimik gets bought out in the offseason.
More than the one that everybody wants, Marc-Edouard Vlasic?
Marc-Edouard Vlasic, buying out Marc-Edouard Vlasic and buying out Radim Šimik are two completely different things. Radim Šimik would be a little bit of a penalty, but not so much that it's the end of the world for where the Sharks are. Buying out Marc-Edouard Vlasic would just be brutal to do it this summer. Now, if they did it this summer, I don't think I would shed a tear, but that buyout penalty is going to be ugly, and maybe you hope, but like, it's hard, right? Because here's the thing, and we don't know because we don't have the GM yet, but if you buy out Marc-Edouard Vlasic, like, you can't tell me anymore, oh, we can't rebuild because we have to be fair to guys like Brent Burns and Logan Couture. Those deals are going to be coming up as that buyout penalty goes away.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so it'll be interesting. Again, new GM, we don't know. Maybe the new GM comes in and he loves Radim Šimik, and then I don't get any foreseen points. But I feel like if you're going to do some stuff on the blue line, I feel like Radim Šimik, when you look at the guys that got regular ice time over Šimik, how do you justify keeping him if you can't? If you're not going to play him, like, how do you justify that?
Yeah. It remains to be seen. It's going to be interesting to see what transpires overhand. And now that there are more teams that are eliminated, you start wondering if the Sharks reach out to those who aren't playing anymore, if they call them up. Granted, I know we had this discussion on Discord too. Mm-hmm. The two that I think you and I both like for me, it's Tampa AGM Matthew Darsh, who was in the Sharks org for a while ago.
Yep.
And then the Colorado AGM.
Yeah, you know what though? But I would probably, I can't remember who Carolina's AGM is, but I would probably give them a shout too. Obviously, like, Carolina still has to get over the second round hump, but I think you still have to, like, I still think that's other than, you know, having goalies that are made of glass, that's a really well constructed team.
Maybe they could use a James Reimer again. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin mentioning in the chat, Jacob Magna, who's also on the U.S. squad, left the U.S. team due to some sort of family emergency. So we hope all is better in Jacob's family. And speaking of Magna, he got a one-way deal, so Šimik isn't needed anymore.
It doesn't mean anything. It means it might. Yeah, okay, I shouldn't dismiss that completely out of hand. But I think that the Sharks don't have a problem signing guys to one-way deals, even if they're not going to play in the NHL. Like, I think Magna's probably on this team, but you have to think that if Knyzhov's healthy, he's coming back in. You want to hopefully see Merkley get a chance to stick around. I mean, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens on that blue line with some guys. But yeah, I think again, like a guy like Jacob Magna, if he fits, maybe a little closer to the bottom of the pairs than the top, I think that it's not a terrible option to have there.
Gotcha. We shall see. This is going to be such an interesting and almost like a busy summer too. I just stuff is going to be coming out here and there. Might be slow moving here, but you know what? Stick with us. So do yourself a favor if you haven't already. Smash that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you've been seeing tonight. And of course, hit that notification bell. That'll notify you when we go on the air. Whenever news breaks for the Sharks, we will be on live to bring it to you. So, go ahead.
Chat question. So Linus Oberg's a Sharks pick who is coming up for, if they don't sign him, he will be a free agent. I am not sure what they do there. Could the Sharks sign him? Yeah, they have all the room in the world. They don't have any contract issues, so they might. I feel like though, if they haven't signed him by now, like I just feel like you don't have to sign all your draft picks. Like sometimes you can cut bait. I don't know enough about the player to really give an impassioned plea for or against. I apologize for that, but I think they might. Do they do it? But I feel like generally speaking, when the Sharks go this long without signing someone, historically they don't get signed.
That's interesting. So I'm looking on the elite prospects for Linus Oberg. He was with, and I know Kevin's going to cringe when I say it, Obreo in the SHL. He was a 7th round pick in 2020 from the Sharks at 206th overall. Last year, not bad. 17 goals, 9 assists, 26 points in 52 games, a half point per game for him, which has kind of been consistent a little bit with the 2 years that he's been up with the big club. And for that matter, kind of with the J20 Super Elite.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they might. I just feel like historically, when the Sharks go this long without signing a guy, they usually cut bait.
Now, when do they need to sign him by?
Soon.
Before the draft, right?
Yeah, there's a date. I don't know what the drop dead date is. Give me a second. Let me go check Cap Friendly.
That's fine. I'll do
It's because all the dates are screwed up. Like usually it's a normal date every year, but all the dates are screwed up here. So, they have to be signed by June 1st.
June 1st. So by Wednesday.
Yes.
So
yeah, usually, like I said, when the Sharks go this long without signing a guy, they generally don't get signed historically.
Urebro. Sorry. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you very much on that. So we'll find out tomorrow when Oberg does sign with the Sharks.
Yeah, I mean, Doug Wilson Jr. has made a liar of me before. Maybe he'll do it again.
Well, we'll see how that goes. With that, we'll get a final burn in. If you have any more comments, the fire away, go for it here. In case you missed anything or you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Smash that subscribe button on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and of course, always available at tealtownusa.com. One thing I was going to mention here is that no matter who the champion in the East is, someone's definitely playing in their third Cup final, or for Pat Maroon fourth. Corey Perry will be going with could be playing for a third Cup final with a third different team. Barclay Goodrow, former Shark, could be playing in his third Cup if the Rangers advance, and Pat Maroon could be going for his fourth straight Cup. Freaking dynasty that is. So.
Yeah. What a hell of a dude.
Yeah. Can the Sharks sign him? I don't know. Anyway.
The Sharks are not playing. And I'm mad online.
With that final thought, while we wait for the comments, final thoughts on where the people can find you.
Final thoughts. God. Okay. So here's the deal, right? I know I had a little fun on this show. Here's the rules of Twitter for me, right? Like I can't force you to do anything. You can use Twitter the way you want. But like, I love talking about hockey. But if you just tweet rage at me and there's nothing, like, ask me a question. I can answer questions. Ask an opinion. It doesn't have to be a question. Ask me an opinion. I'd be happy to give you an opinion. But you just tweet anger at me? Like, I didn't do it. I come on. You know what my role is for the San Jose Sharks? I come on YouTube after a game, and for 45 minutes, I try to swear enough to get us demonetized. That's it.
Dear God.
That's my role on the team. I'm not on the team. I'm just a jackass on YouTube.
I don't remember seeing that in our notes that you're supposed to be a jackass and demonetize us, but okay.
Right? I love talking about hockey.
Yeah.
Ask me an opinion. Ask for my opinion. Give me something that I can respond to. That's all. That's all I ask. Mm-hmm. Really easy. Super, super, super easy. Teal tinted glasses coming back. I just got to set a date aside, but we definitely have some stuff planned. It's definitely coming back. It's definitely going to be a thing. We already did a short show already with me and Kevin when we talked about the coaching change on the Barracuda. You can find that on this YouTube channel on tealtownusa.com and all your podcatching places in case you missed it. Jerk's going to be around. We're going to get some Teal tinted glasses stuff going. Pay attention to the Twitters. We'll tell you when. Yeah. And this channel, actually, if you hit the bell, funny thing, you hit the bell, it tells you when we go live. Mm-hmm. It might be a Teal tinted glasses show. You don't know.
It could be. So that's why you got to follow us on the social media. That's why you got to follow us on YouTube and all that fun stuff. Getting back to what we were going back, Assistant General Manager of the Carolina Hurricanes, Eric Tulsky.
Yeah.
So there's an idea there. And like we said, they're looking all over at every position, every pretty possible. So that's good. Right.
And not only Teal tinted glasses. When news breaks, we will fix it.
Yes. And we will use, super glue to put it back together and break it down for you.
Hockey tape.
Yes. Oh, hockey tape. It's underrated versus duct tape. So be for sure. My final thought is, it's a game. It's just a freaking game. It's a game we all love. Enjoy it. Have fun with it. You don't need to get all upset about it too much. Why do you have to be mad? Why do you have to be mad? And then look at us a few months ago about us losing our minds when the Sharks lose big to Colorado. But that's beside the point. Enjoy it. Have fun. I don't know what I'm
talking about.
I'm at PuckGuy14 on the Twitter, and thankfully, once again on Instagram. Dear fucking God. If you knew how many times I contacted Instagram to get my Instagram account back, you think, what's wrong with me? So we will be back with you unless news breaks. We will be back here to break down the Stanley Cup Final. Which
we'll see how mad I am then.
We'll let's hope we both got our predictions right that it's Colorado, Tampa Bay. Since it can't be Colorado, Florida anymore, damn it. So for all of us here, Ian Reed, I am Eric Cura, along with the whole crew. Thanks for watching. Subscribe right now. Hit that notification bell so you know when we're coming on. And until then, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Have a great night, everyone. We will see you down the road.